Ever since Justice League came out in 2017 and was a complete bomb, people have been begging to see Zack Snyder's director's cut. With the hashtag release the Snyder Cut having gone viral, it seems like people really feel like this Snyder Cut is going to somehow magically fix Justice League and vindicate the DCEU when the DCEU has been, sadly, pretty rubbish for the most part. Hey guys, Henry here, and today in this video we are going to be talking about the news that the Snyder Cut of Justice League is officially going to come out in 2021. Zack Snyder, he directed Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, and he was in the process of directing Justice League, in the process of completing the film, but he stepped away in early 2017 after his 20-year-old daughter passed away. Snyder had a vision for the DCEU. I think he had like 5 films in mind that he was setting up for. But after Batman vs Superman was a complete wreck, Warner Brothers basically shat themselves and brought in Jeff Johns and John Berg to steer the DCU in the same direction that Marvel was going, making it more comedic, optimistic, and light. At the point which Snyder stepped away from the Justice League, he'd already completed principal photography, and they brought in Joss Whedon, who directed the first 2 Avengers films, to finish the film. And when he was brought in, he was in charge throughout post-production as well as some additional reshoots. The final product that we got of Justice League used apparently about 80 to 85% of what Zack Snyder had originally shot, but Whedon just tinkered with the footage in the editing suites, moving things around and cutting several plot lines to bring the film's runtime down to 2 hours. While it's been speculated that Zack Snyder's cut was about 3.5 hours long. Warner Brothers has announced that the Snyder Cut of Justice League will be released on HBO Max in 2021. HBO Max is actually a part of Warner Brothers and is one of their streaming services. The Hollywood Reporter has reported that a lot of the original crew will actually be brought back to finish off Snyder's version of the Justice League at a cost of up to $30 million. This film is gonna be huge for the HBO Max streaming service. With the aura and mythology behind the Snyder Cut, people will most definitely be signing up for the service just to see where the Justice League and where the DCEU could have gone differently. But the real question is, do we need a Snyder Cut? I, like most people, did not love the Justice League. While yeah, it was sort of fun, it felt really cheap. And the introduction of The Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg into this DCU was way too rushed, and the movie felt really clunky and the pacing was absolutely terrible. And oh yeah, everything is meaningless because Superman exists and there's no point even trying to create some sort of struggle because he just comes in and instantly wins. But the people begging for this movie seem to have some weird fantasy that Warner Brothers completely just butchered Snyder's version, and as usual it was just the big bad studio executives that ruined the creative process and were just way too worried about their bottom line. But I just don't see any real way for this film to just somehow magically redeem itself. Like, what is Zack Snyder going to do differently? He's going to chuck back in a few extra scenes, he's maybe going to change up the score, he's going to change the color grade. Zack Snyder's shots made up the majority of the 2017 theatrical release. I just don't see how different this Snyder Cut can really be. Additional characters maybe, like Darkseid, they'll be put in the film, potentially in a post-credit sequence, but we know that this post-credit scene isn't gonna lead to something in the future, so it doesn't even mean anything. So what's the point? Well, I guess at least at the end of the day, Snyder gets to finish what he started, and we as the audience, we get to see his vision and finally have some closure on what the DCEU could have been. Either way, the real point of this is that HBO Max is gonna get a lot of new users, regardless of whether or not the Snyder Cut is any good. And that is probably what the real focus is here, more so than appeasing people disappointed by the Justice League film that we got. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see more content from me. What do you guys think about the Snyder Cut? Are you excited to see it, or do you just not care? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, thank you guys again, and I'll catch you guys next time.